The voice wants to continue to speak, continue to manifest. And so, as I break down this gossamer barrier between myself and this superficial idea of reality, and as I peer greater into the depths of the true source of all beings, more words come to me as I write them down into my poetry. And here is yet some more words that I would like to share with you. This poem is called As I Stand Between. I turn one last time back to humanity to see if any one of them could help me in this shadow realm. But they can't seem to hear me, and I can't seem to reach them. For my language is something of antiquity, and I have to do this regardless of whether anyone understands. They don't know this, but the time is not a friend to those who practice the language of the abyss. And what grows inside is reflected by our choices. If what we chase is emptiness, regardless of what we've called it, emptiness is what we are filled with. It is frightening because there is something beautiful about them. But the place where they dance is very near the edge of darkness. And what will be found within this fatal romance with the language of the dead will be the last words spoken, condemned by their own words against what had lived inside of them. And the voices that they've practiced will be the only thing left to keep them company in eternal darkness. All souls are beautiful, but cannot be moved by human hands, and so I cannot make them understand. I have to tune them out as I speak to the fuzzy man, so that I can hear his voice. He knows me. He shows me the burden that I carry. And though I feel so alone, he is with me. And he reminds me that I feel and what I feel so strongly. That this is him inside of myself that I carry. And that he is both my father and my son. And whatever other than that I am means nothing. Though I reach out to images and shadows in the growing distance, I feel the strong knowing that I'm going somewhere beautiful. As the ground beneath my feet feels uncertain, as I look behind that curtain, the image fades, but the feeling keeps on growing as trust and faith become my home inside this realm of the unknown. I leave behind all questions, as they are not meant for me to answer. They are for him alone. My soul is in his hands. Yes, no, that is not a question for mankind. Judgment is not the business that we are in, for the hands do not judge the man's intent. As I travel deeper, I am now halfway between two realms. What is keeping me here is this feeling that I don't want to enter heaven alone. Tears in my eyes well up as I ask him if I could only bring one other soul along. But when he doesn't answer, I try to dig my feet in. But I cannot seem to stop the ground beneath my feet from moving. And the world that once seemed to be filled with such importance slips further and further away into the distance. And I can't go backwards even in my most desperate moments. moments of uncertainty and isolation, knowing that while I stand here between, they are going in the wrong direction. I am caught in the middle realm, a ghost left behind. Was I ever truly the son of mankind? I could never truly participate with empty celebrations around lifeless idols. The question becomes again and again, how can the living love dead things so much? And no matter how convincing their voices may seem, while I hold these dead things that they keep handing me, as they tell me that they are good to eat, when I hold them in my hands to examine them, I find myself puzzling. And no matter how much I would like to join them, I cannot swallow this poison. I am leaving this triangle of love behind, between myself, mankind, and the cadaver around which they gather. Now all that remains is myself and that which is living. And soon in this relationship, there won't be any difference. For what really interests me had once been made impossible to reconcile, for it existed in two places, at the opposite ends of the universe. I stood between them, pulled in both directions, a losing battle with boundlessness. But if I no longer stand between them, then they immediately become one in the center of my being. And as the mind sacrifices this prison of I-ness, this being becomes impervious to death and loneliness. For what is left in the absence of interfering voices is replaced only by oneness in an endless universe. Then the end is only in the idea of separateness. All suffering disappears when the living stop worshiping dead things. Can you feel the elation, the ecstasy that flows within me? I feel it strongly as I speak these words to you. I hope they have aided you, those of you who have struggled with the pain of the darkness of this world. Remember, the borders are thin and they are easily passed upon. And soon, if we have faith and our faith is strong, we will merge with a beautiful reality and bring it into existence. And it will be as if it had always been, my friends. I shall see you again soon.